So very handy. There we go.
You gotta include that now. It's been one of those weeks.
It really do be like that.
It really do be like that. Hello. Welcome to episode number 12 of the Opinionated Podcast. Yeah, where do you go? Where do you even start? I suppose what we could say, we'll start with saying is this week is the last full week of November. Our tashes have come a long way in the month.
Still can't see mine.
Ask the lighting at you.
Yeah, hang on. Let me change that real quick.
Like something out of fucking, I don't even know what you look like you're out.
Yeah.
You look like you're like in the International Space Station or something. Like you're being beamed in from Mars.
Start floating around here.
Yeah, exactly. We've got loads of good responses and loads of donations and stuff. So I keep being told.
Does anyone know what the total is?
What is the total? Actually, I should have checked that before we started recording.
I think we were around the €385. I think I was on it there today, updating our steps. If anyone's actually looking at that activity feed, we didn't walk 56 kilometers in one day. It was over the span of like a week and a half. But I'm very inconsistent with updating it. But we didn't walk 56 kilometers in a day.
Yeah, I know. Thanks to everyone that's donated, like €385. It's a lot. It's a lot to raise, and it is a really worthy charity. Especially around these times.
We sure we get to the 400 as well, surely, before.
Yeah, that's it. Like, if you haven't donated yet, please do. It's still well, you can donate, I think, even after the 30th, but November is these tashes will be well, for me it'll be joined by a full beard, but
mine will still be like the way it is now.
Yeah, mine has to go. I'm starting to look like a Heisenberg here.
I am the danger.
Yeah, like even if 15 of our listeners just donated €1, that would bring us up to the mark. Like, I'm sure people could spare €1 for our page. Like, if you just go onto November, is it .com?
Sorry.
You can find our page at the Opinionated Podcast, and also if you follow any of our personal Instagrams, Facebooks, you should find the links in our bios. It's worth the cause. Do it.
I wonder how the Opinionadas is it the Opinionadas in Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
They do in November.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't know.
I might look into that. There are what's the word?
Comrades.
Yeah, okay.
We're the
We'll go with that.
I think the Mexican for comrades is quesadillas. I think I might be wrong there.
Jesus Christ. Thanks for that wonderful piece of information, Tom.
Oh, God.
Fun.
Can I just say it's been a long fucking week?
It really has. It really has. I know it seems to be a common trait with this podcast lately, but I've not been in a good mood. I'm just not in good form.
Yeah, these days are dragging, especially with the fucking dark days now, and like even what daylight we do have, it's fucking dark. Like, you know, it's so annoying. Like, I don't know about yourselves, but like a lot of my shifts now in work are like up at Cockrow and home like nearly like just as it's going dark. Like I don't see daylight anyway. Like, so, but
you want to get that checked out?
I do see. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've been more or less the same. I'm in work at 8:30 in the morning, then I'm out at 4:30. So like, by the time I get home, it's more or less dark. Like, I have my lights on every day going home. So, you know.
I'm still a student, so I just observe the day from my desk constantly.
Vivaldi Four Seasons playing there in the background.
It's all happening outside, but I just can't go out there.
Taking it all in, man.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
We had a good response to last week's episode.
Excellent.
Yeah, lots of good feedback from it. An awful lot of opinions too, which we like to see on the Opinionated podcast. Most of them in line with ours. It is last week's topic. If you haven't listened to it, go back and listen and have an hour listen. We spoke about the controversy surrounding those leaked images that was in those leaked women's images and stuff, and just the whole topic surrounding that. A lot of decent.
I suppose we can hit off on that again because it's still an ongoing issue, and I don't know if you've seen the recent headlines there. I think it was today about Drew Harris, the Garda commissioner, saying that there was no evidence of child abuse after going through thousands of images, even though there are several, not several, hundreds upon almost nearly thousands of Irish girls that have come out and said that, I'm underage. These were circulated without my consent. And they even, I think, said something along the lines of that there was an element of consent between the circulation, which, if like, you can't believe what Drew Harris is coming out here with when there's literally like a group forming in solidarity of this catastrophe. I just find it bizarre. Like, how can you blatantly lie about something? Like, maybe they haven't found a convincing case to push it in court. Maybe something along those lines. Maybe that's just some bullshit reason to fucking come out and say, "Oh, we have nothing." But you can't. I don't know. I think you lose a lot of faith with the Gardaí now, with the treatment of this. Like, they're already shit enough as it is. They don't need to fucking add more piling hot turd onto the mess that they already are in. Like, we've already gone through so many scandals, like the Morris McCabe?
The whistleblower scandal and all that.
Yeah, and just in general now, like, they're so, like, they need a huge rework. But that's another kettle of fish. We're pulling away from the issue here. But like, going back to the topic at hand, like, I don't know how you can deny that this is like not, there's no element of foul play, and foul play is being fucking polite about this. Like, it's a serious thing, and it's not being treated with enough severity.
Like, even aside from the actual legal aspect of it, and the whole fucking guards finding illegal or child abuse related or anything like that, it's just morally, it's just so wrong, and I still can't understand where would the mindset be for you to share something like that. Like, intimate images like that, it's intended, I'm assuming, like, a lot of the time, it's intended for personal use between the two individuals involved. Now, I know that's not the case all the time. So, like, if that relationship ends or whatever, or in whatever circumstances it ends, shouldn't, like I don't know, I'm just thinking of from my viewpoint, like, wouldn't that be the time to delete those images or whatever? I just can't get my head around somebody that, I can't get into the mindset of somebody that would want to share that as with a view of getting back at somebody or whatever.
Yeah, because
it's not just a short term thing. It's not just, oh, I'm going to do this and get back at whoever. Like, but like this can have such long term effects, like long term, everlasting effects. Like.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Like it has serious implications on people's mental health, people's like ability to put faith and trust into other people. Like there's so many elements to it. Like I don't see, like, okay, if it's a case of like, oh, they like there are relationships out there that like people have been fucked over or have been cheated on or whatever, but like that shouldn't be a reason to take like revenge upon the other party or the other half. There's no excuse for it, because I think the people that are doing that now are showing their true colors as to what person they are. Like if you wouldn't do it then why are you doing it now? It just doesn't,
like, because it seems to be like people are getting a fucking kick out of torturing people. Like, it seems to be gone kind of beyond the pictures at this stage. I don't know, that's just what I picked up lately.
I think that kind of feeds into the culture at the minute. There seems to be a lot of like, I hate using like kind of American terms, but like cancel culture is a fucking huge movement. I don't even want to call it a movement because it's so fucking moronic, but pardon my language, but it's just, I'll just take the relatively current example. I don't know if you use TikTok, but the likes of Charlie D'Amelio, who's only 16 years of age, who literally said, "Oh, I love to hit 100 million." I think it was like a year after she started her page or whatever. That'd be a great thing. And everyone was like, "Oh, you're just looking for followers, yada yada," and giving her fucking huge amount of hate, huge amounts of unneeded stress. She's fucking 16, and like she was losing millions of followers just on the basis of saying something like, "Oh, I just wish." Like, if people are going to go to that like extreme to like hurt someone over something so incredibly little, then what's people's potential to actually, like, when like over something so little, this is what can be done, but over something like image leak or something much worse, like what's people's limits of insanity and torture, if to use your word, that they can inflict on someone else? I think it's absurd.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be an awful, like, to me, it's just a lack of respect. Is like, that seems to be the main issue with this whole thing. It's just a lack of respect and a lack of understanding towards the other person involved. Because to me, I just think it's a total disconnection from emotion and from even the thought process that this other person is actually a person and they have thoughts and they have feelings like I do. I think a lot of the time, maybe like it's just a total disconnection. It's like it's an image and that's it. It's not connected to a person, and that person doesn't exist or whatever. Like, it may as well be just a fucking cartoon pulled out of the air or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's a lot to do with it.
Yeah, I think that's sorry, go on. Yeah,
Great, Tom. Oh, right, sorry. No, I was going to say like that. I felt that this whole social media driven fucking, I don't know if you want to call it a world anymore, but like you were even saying there about that person on TikTok, like, I took a break this week from fucking social media. Just couldn't fucking handle it anymore. I just couldn't do it. Like, But it's kind of, you know, it's kind of thing like if just say, you know, someone held up one of those pictures of a member of your family in front of you in real life, you'd probably beat the fucking shit out of them, and rightly so. Like, but like this whole thing of anonymous accounts and anonymous and shit, and able to send it to so many people, it just facilitates this fucking behavior. And I think like fuck, like we could go on with the guards and the government and all that, yeah, but that's good, and they do need to change. But like, you know, fucking Mark Zuckerberg and whoever the fuck is he on Twitter? I don't know. Is that like all these boys need to look at this like and say, fucking, you know, this is a problem here. Like, you know, I don't know.
It's a big problem with the social media.
Yeah, the social media lads need to fucking tackle this shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a huge problem, and I think it's in kind of their terms a new phenomenon, even though it's not. Like, I go back to the whole having career politicians in a country that has modernized beyond belief. It's the same thing with social media. Social media has like evolved like massively, even since like the early 2000s, the amount of different things that have changed. But like,
I think it's evolved in the last year. Like,
it's kind of it's created some a power vacuum where people can just feel invincible and do what they want without any sort of punishment.
It's a way more elegant way of putting it than what I was saying.
Yeah, well, I'm but like at the same time, you shouldn't need to feel like, to understand this, you shouldn't have to put it in a personal scenario. Like, you should just accept, like, to say that, oh, you see an image of if your mom, or like putting it into a personal context. Yes, it helps, but you shouldn't need to put it into a personal. Yeah.
I understand you now. Yeah.
You shouldn't have to put it into a personal context in the first place. But at the same time, it does help for people that are really just that just don't understand. But at the same time, going back on the point of understanding, I like there has to be an element of. And now I say an element because some people just are blatant bigots and are like misreading this whole problem completely. Now, I'm not saying I'm reading it 100% either, but I'm still trying to understand. I'm trying to educate myself to try and understand it better. But you can't like, going on, using the example of cancel culture, you can't go and cancel someone on the basis of their opinion to an extent. If it has some like value, it should be respected. Like, there's this like going off of using the opinionated podcast as an example. Our opinions, like, how much are they valued in society now? Like, just everyone's opinions. Like, opinions nowadays are so underappreciated because there's kind of using another American term, sheeple. Like, people are just following a global sort of group following, without kind of realizing like, or thinking for themselves. It's a shame, really. Like, because I'd like to think that I'd value, or at least try to value, other people's opinions, because they're precious. Because one, they might be able to provide insights that you haven't been able to see, or they might show a completely different perspective. I think you have to kind of weigh up, especially as yourself and myself, Tom, being historians. Like, you have to weigh up all the sides of the story before tackling it. So yeah, I think that's another kind of issue that needs to be addressed here. Like, you can't, just because someone doesn't wholeheartedly agree on what you believe in and what thousands of other people agree, that doesn't necessarily mean it's invalid, or that it shouldn't be respected and appreciated, because everyone has their own voice. We have a right to free speech. So we should be able to use it. Now, in saying that, there are people out there that are like circulating things that are just completely moronic, and like there's a fine line, because there is a void that can be used to and abused to circulate dangerous ideas as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean,
sorry, that was a long spiel.
It's just a lot to take in there.
Yeah, no, sorry. I'm just my like every time I'm looking at every time I look at the news, it's just like you're trying to process all this information and try and like actually like spit it out.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
So I do
like,
apologize.
No, you're grand. Like, no, you're dead right in what you're saying. Definitely. I go with this. I was speaking to a friend of mine during the week, and we were just talking about this topic of about the whole what we were talking about last week, and he had an interesting viewpoint, and it's a right one. Now, bear with me because it mightn't sound right at first.
It's an appreciated opinion from here on.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so I think I can't remember which is mentioned the last week. There was this idea that a woman can't walk down the street for fear of being attacked or whatever. That is a real fear. However, I think that fear, and my friend was saying this, it is irrational. Now, whether it's consciously irrational or not, realistically it is. Because if you think about it, how often is there a boogeyman type situation occurring? No, that's not to say that it doesn't happen. It does happen every now and again, but in the vast majority of circumstances, it doesn't. And we were kind of talking about where does this stem from, and now it goes both ways too. Like he was speaking from the viewpoint that he was going out running one day or one evening, and there's a woman walking on the path ahead of him, and now there's nobody else around, but it cropped into his mind that, oh shit, if I'm gonna have to try cross the road or something now here, so it's not to frighten her, because she'll probably think that if I'm coming up behind her quickly, I'm going to attack her. Which I think it does pop into a lot of people's heads. We got on to talking about where does it stem from and what happens with that. And we kind of settled on the fact that it's down to education. And if you think about it, like I have a sister, and if she's ever going out anywhere, always told, don't go anywhere without anybody with you, or look out for yourself, be careful, don't get into cars with anyone you don't know, don't get into a taxi, people you don't know. And it's not just sisters, it's I've heard this from women across the board. And I was talking to another friend of mine, and she was saying she does feel like that, and she wouldn't get into taxis on her own. She wouldn't do a lot of that thing. So what I'm kind of trying to get at, is it a miseducation on both sides? Are girls told, are they just given this impression of there's the boogeyman and he's out to get you? And are chaps told, you're a big strong man, you can bully that girl around if you wanted, but don't, because some fellas do, but you don't do that now. Some fellas do, so you're going to have to be careful and stay away if you think you're going to scare her. You know, I wonder, that's kind of where we got to. Now, it wasn't as brief as that, but
well, going off that, I'll just jump in. I think, yeah, definitely, there's an element of, like, I think most education systems is based off stereotypes, especially in relation to kind of social issues, especially at like kind of a teenage age in the education system. It's definitely like you're taught like what are perceived to be the bog standard basics of like how to act, but is it does it really apply anymore? Like, we're not living in the 20th century anymore. And I think as well, there's an element that I think this in the society that we're living in of fear of so many different things, like fear of that my opinion is going to be shouted down and I'm going to get hate for it, no matter what I say. It creates almost an overthinking culture, which it is a problem. Like I even myself, I find myself overthinking things, like something so simple, like for instance, if I was going running and there was someone walking in front of me, that I'd scare them, or I like all such simple things that I shouldn't really need to think. Like I shouldn't need to overanalyze.
Yeah, it should be just the case that you're out running, they're out walking, and you're just going to run past them.
Exactly.
That's the way it should. It should be, and it shouldn't even enter our mindset. Like,
there's always like that kind of small part of your membrane that kind of tells you, like, just it instills fear in you, of like this is a decision that actually needs thinking about. But it's like this is a simple issue that shouldn't need to require overthinking, but issues like leaking an image, for instance, deserves a lot of fucking thinking about, because there needs to be a consideration there for so many things. Like it's hard to even. I've listed some of them, but it's on, like, the list can go on. There's so many. There's such a domino effect of an issue such as that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just to add on to the point that's just sort of popping into my head. My friend used the example of Jay from the In-Betweeners. Anyone that's watched it, it's the episode where he claimed to have gotten stuck in a bottle bank. Or like it was Will's comeback. Will's comeback was that the story was that he was violated by three different individuals while stuck in the bottle bank, and Will's response to it was, "So you're telling me that the first three people to come across you stuck in that bottle bank happen to be opportunist gay rapists?" Like, that's kind of the same situation. Not everybody you meet is going to be likelihood is it's not going to be a fight or flight situation. Most of the time, it's just nothing. The vast majority of the time, and I know it's not to say that it doesn't happen. I know it does happen, but for the vast majority of the time, it doesn't.
But I think to call it like irrational might be slightly downplaying the. I don't think okay. Just say women mightn't be like physically attacked on the street by someone running on a very
but I was just using that example.
I mean, like the small things, like, you know what I mean? It's the small things that, like this image leak, or someone making a comment or something, or something like that, or a lewd comment. But like, I think, I don't know, just from what you're describing there, I feel that's more of our problem, something we have to deal with. Like, I think, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like, I don't think we should say to women like, "Oh, look, not 99%."
No.
We should be saying to the men, like, we can't let people feel like this. Like,
that's what Jack is.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at as well. Like, it's not gonna change just from one side. It has to be on both sides. Like, if it should start.
It has to start with us, though. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think.
Well, yeah, but definitely, yeah. But at the same time, not the vast majority of men aren't like that. The vast majority of men aren't like that, and it is a small minority. But it's
But I
as
think
always with
this whole thing is about like the good lads calling out the bad lads. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because the three of us aren't going to attack someone when running, like we can't just
no, like
stop.
I think from a perspective,
I think we're going
of-
around in circles here.
I think so.
yeah, well, just going off, like, if like they're definitely we definitely as males have a fucking responsibility to like try and break this circle of just privilege. Like there's for fuck like going back through time, it's always been like the husband running the show with a submissive wife. Going back to Doll's House of the Macaroons episode a couple of podcasts ago, go listen to that if you're interested. But like it has been a traditional problem, and it's slowly being chipped away at, but to not at the speed that it requires. I think we're we're living in a seriously evolving age. Like every day, like with the vaccine, for instance, we thought we'd never get a vaccine, and then all of a sudden we have a vaccine on our doorstep. Now, whether or not that's 100% reliable, that it'll work and so on, that's another story. But it just goes to show you how far our medicinal technology has come along. But in terms of like as a society, as people, we need to start changing these issues dramatically, because we're no longer living in a traditional world. Yeah, we're living in a much more one, cosmopolitan world, and two, a world which should offer more equal opportunities to everyone.
Yeah, well, I
not
think
just based
we
on
are-
gender, on race, and so on.
Yeah, exactly. I think we are becoming a more and more equal world. Like there is this so-called rise of the far right, but at the same time, is there? Because the way I see it, social media has been the platform for a lot of this far right and even far left. What's the word? Extremists, I suppose. And what I find an awful lot of the time is that it's these groups, these extreme groups, they're always the ones that shout the loudest, and they're always the ones who are picked up on first. When the vast majority of people don't hold these views, vast majority of people are, to be fairly center or center left, even. That's what I find. Now you do get people like there's a broad range there in the center, and majority of people fall in there. But it's these left and right wings, these extremes, they are the ones that shout the loudest, and they're the ones who are heard the most. And that's where I think a lot of this conflict is coming into in social media, and why everything seems so inflamed and so extreme. And it's just like everybody's shouting at each other. And when it's not, it's just these extremes are shouting at each other, and people are getting sucked into it.
I think it's even just moving beyond cases of extremity. I think there's actually elements of influencer culture where if you have thousands of followers and you're saying something rather controversial, or it doesn't even have to be controversial, it could just be your opinion, a lot of people will just follow it out of respect for like following you, or like same thing as like the biggest groups or the most extreme groups will shout the loudest, that the person with the most followers will shout the loudest in terms of an opinion on a topic. I think that there's definitely an element of that. That's another thing as well of like likes culture and so on. Like the person with the most likes is the most popular, the most perfect person. It means fucking nothing. Like to me anyway, it doesn't. But there's no that there shouldn't be a need for a kind of a desire to feel important, or a desire to feel, maybe important's not the right word. We're all entitled to to feel like that we belong on this earth, but like attracting unnecessary attention to oneself. There's no need for it, really. I don't think.
Yeah. I think we'll leave that one there. We spent quite a bit of time on that.
I can go on.
I mean, it's a broad topic.
Deserves time, though.
It does deserve the time, and I'm sure it won't be the last time we'll be speaking about it. No. Curveballs, fellas. Might lighten the mood a little bit. Do either of you want to go first, or will I throw out my one?
Mine's kind of relative to social media and all that shit. If you want to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So this one takes a slight bit of explanation, but
go for it.
Oh, great!
It's quite simple. It just revolves around freedom. I don't know if I told you during the summer I had a bit of a mad day. Really, I have a day that I just thought was probably up there with some of the best of my life because it was just completely ordinary. But yeah, during the summer anyway, I went to Dublin for a week. I had no job at the time. I was on the government's pennies. I wasn't a student for the first time in 17 years. I had no friends in Dublin. No one was there because everyone was gone home. My family had no idea where I was. I just woke up in the morning and had breakfast. And then I just went outside the door. I turned off my phone, went outside the door. And I just walked. And I just had the greatest day. Just walking, rambling. I saw an Irish flag on a hill, walked up to the Irish flag, and it was probably one of the greatest scenes I'll ever see in my life. Lovely hot day. I just strolled. I did like 35,000 steps, I think. And it was brilliant. I had nothing.
No one knew that in November.
But I had nothing to go, nowhere to be. No one knew where I was. No one was looking for me or was going to look for me. And I'm actually quite scared that I don't know whether a day like that is going to come again. Do you think that there's ever days where we're like perfectly free from everything that's fucking going on? You know what I mean? Is there ever a day where no one fucking needs you? No one knew where I was or cared. Like, it was the greatest day I've ever had.
Yeah, I would.
Is there ever that day where everything aligns? Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Where you're non-existent almost. I was dead for a day, basically.
Dead without the morning.
Yeah.
I can't say I've had a day like that yet. I do. I suppose pine is probably too strong a word for it, but I would like to have a day like that. I mean, like, I listen to the Tommy and Hector podcast, and Tommy Tiernan, like, he paints this picture an awful lot of just serenity.
Yeah. Like,
wherever he's living in Barna in Galway, and it's just, Tommy Tiernan is he's Tommy Tiernan, like, he's himself. But he paints this picture of just peace, tranquility, and serenity, and just contentment within himself. And like, I have this vision of being, like, it's not a vision, it's a dream, nearly, I suppose, of being out in the middle of nowhere, just sitting outside some sort of a house with no one around me, eating sweets. Yeah, sitting outside a house, nobody around, nothing to bother me, and nothing to do, and just sitting there. And that to me seems like just heaven.
That's in essence what I did. Like, no one bothered me. You know what I mean? There was people there, but no one fucking knew who I was. I walked past them, and like, it was just that. I honestly scared out of my fucking core that day will never come again. That day where I had absolutely no responsibility. I could have done anything. Well, in the limits of the law, of course. But I could have like took a bus and just fucking sat on it till I got off at the next stop. You know, I took turns down alleyways and roads, and you know, just by whatever my mind wanted. That's kind of that. You know, what you described there is what I had.
Yeah, that I would love a situation like that.
You think you will find yourself in a situation like that?
The closest thing I can remember of being in a situation like that was when I was younger and had no or less responsibility. I used to go walking an awful lot more, especially when I was off school before I started working. So I was probably under 16. So I started working when I was 16. So, you know, 14, 15, I was doing an awful lot more walking, especially around the area. Like I live in the countryside. And just down the road from me, there's a forest, and there's an old mill, flour mill. And now it's a big area now, but they're the ruins of the old mill, and then there's a couple of houses and ruined and all. And near there's a stream that flows right through the middle of the forest. And I used to walk down there a good lot. And there's a real steep bank beside the stream running down to it, and there's just one flat bit. I used to go down there and just sit there with I used to bring the dog with me, like, and just the two of us just sit there and just listen to the water. Like, there was no signal down there because it's in the area is called the Struggles.
No signal.
Signal.
Oh, there's no signal.
So like I wasn't on my phone, and even if I wanted to be, there wouldn't be any point because I wouldn't do anything with it. Like the area is called the Struggles, so like that'll paint a picture for you. Like it's a tough spot, but it's just listen to the flow of water. Nothing around me. No, I wasn't anywhere near a main road or anything, and it's just peace. You know, just serenity and contentment, not having to be anywhere. Like anyone that needs to know knew where I was or where roughly when I'd be back or whatever. Like, and just that time, it was just nice, just lovely.
It's handy.
Yeah. How about you, Matthew?
Yeah, I think definitely for me, I'm only after recently moving into civilization. The last year or two, I used to live out in the sticks, as we say in Ireland. I just live literally at the foot of Mount Leinster, and in like a valley, and like I think we had something like 6 neighbors in like a 3-mile radius. Like it was properly like isolated, but it was fucking beautiful. Like those however many years, I think it was 18 years I lived there, were fucking brilliant. Like growing up, having like the luxury of being able to like walk through fields, to like not smell smoke and car fumes, and just like, you know, the idyllic day, like of just walking with no responsibility in the world, of just roaming and appreciating your surrounding, walking through forests with my dog, and even walking through with friends or whatever, and just going hiking and talking, and just like there's no fucking technology there. Like I think we only got the internet in like 2013 or so. So like, or no, it was way before that. But like even when we got it, it was of such poor quality that we appreciate it so much. Like, oh my God, Google. And I think to an extent today, I still do appreciate it. Probably not as much as I used to, but like it was revolutionary whenever we did get it. But like I think it's a lot of people won't ever be able to experience such freedom. I think as well, when you're living in a city, which most people are, or living in a suburb, like it's very hard to feel free. That there isn't really.
I felt freer in that city that day than I've ever felt in my whole life. I felt just the ebb and the flow, and no one cared who I was. You know what I mean?
I think especially now though with COVID and stuff like this, there's far fewer people in Dublin. Like I even know myself. I've been in Dublin a couple of weeks ago, and just
That's more than 5 kilometers outside your house now. Where are you going?
Where are you going, Matthew?
It was for a doctor's appointment. It was a necessary journey.
That's what they all say.
Well, like I didn't.
Stephen,
like the guards weren't saying anything, so I wasn't saying anything.
After IKEA for the day.
Absolutely, but no, I like to get like the closest to that experience ever again. Like I don't know. I quite enjoy just roaming around cities. I think moving to Dublin when I went to college, I was obviously in Dublin before I went to college, but I never really got to explore it. Yeah.
What the fuck is this?
More than 3 buildings?
Yes.
Where is this Luas going?
More than 3 people as well. Yeah. No, like but whenever I did go to Dublin, it was like usually for like shopping or for like some event or whatever. But to actually just go and explore a city, there's something really like beautiful about it. I don't think people that are like live in the city can even understand that to outsiders like ourselves. But I just love cultures. Yeah, that's probably a better word. No, but I really do love just whacking on the headphones and just roaming around. Like I find music is a great escape as well. It's just reality to just listen to music and wandering around. Just even going for a walk, listening to music, it's an escape for me anyway. I value music beyond like it's hard to even like comprehend how much I appreciate music. It really does help for me anyway. I don't know now if I could go full cold turkey, Tom, and just wanderless.
I'm just telling you, like the cosmic path, like all my dials hit serene that day. Like, you know what I mean? It was the perfect day. It was just I had cheesecake that night, sitting on the sofa, wearing very little, watching the Chelsea match, and I thought, I'm never ever going to achieve this again.
I think it's what everyone dreams of, and you have to fucking remember those days and appreciate those days because they are so seldom, especially now when we're kind of in a groundhog system of just getting through these lockdowns and hoping that we'll meet our friends again and kind of go back to some version of normality. Well, yeah, that's what we all hope for, I suppose.
Yeah,
so that was my curveball.
It's a very good one.
Quite sad now,
I must say.
Yeah, that's disappointing.
You'll have those days again.
Yeah.
You'll have those days again.
I might throw my one in there.
Go for it.
We kind of touched on something like this before. I think Matthew, you had a curveball similar to this.
Oh God!
Here we go about the communists again, Jack. What are we talking about now?
Yeah. I think your topic was more so do our destinies predetermined or whatever. Mine is more so are we able to manifest our own destinies? Manifest our own
manifest destiny there, Matthew.
Oh, boys. Do you want to build a country, Jack? Do you?
I mean, what put this in my mind was the theory of manifestation that Tesla had. It's been doing the rounds. I know it's an awful lot on social media lately. No, I never thought of actually looking into it. Yeah, right, Tom.
Yeah.
A bit of a breakdown there or something, was it?
It's been coming now, not going to lie to you.
Yeah, like the theory of manifestation has been cropping up an awful lot on social media, I know it's lately, and just the idea of it. So I'm kind of thinking, are we able to, aside from that actual theory, if we put enough thought into something, or if we want something bad enough, will it eventually come to us?
Do you want to go, Tom, or will
fucking hell, man, I don't fucking know anymore.
You and your cosmic paths, you should be the philosopher here. Like,
if you
I'm
put enough
philosophical
thought
there a
in-
second ago.
if you put, but like I think your cosmic path arises when you don't think about it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, okay, right. Say that on that subconscious want, that subconscious drive, will that maybe not drive, that subconscious fucking magnet, will it drag in your wanted destiny? That's what I'm trying. I don't know. I can't say it properly. Will your destiny become what? If you want it enough, will you get it? Will manifestation work? Is what I'm trying to say. Do you reckon it works?
I think if it like takes over your being, like, you know what I mean. If I want to be a doctor, so what's the fucking noise?
Yeah, oh, is that nice?
You hear that noise?
Yeah.
oh, it's probably my dog running down the stairs, is it? It sounds like a herd of elephants, but no, it's literally just the tiniest Jack-Russell bombing it about 200 kilometers an hour down the stairs.
It's gonna break his fucking head. Oh my way!
It's going to burst into a door now in a second.
No, I'm not even joking. He literally is like a bullet, like straight down the stairs.
Manifesticity, man. Pedigree chum, away we go.
Yeah, he's going for his walks. He's barking his absolute continental head off there. So, apologize if
Continental head.
Yeah.
Continental head on a Jack-Russell. What's that?
I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Jesus. This podcast's gone off the rails.
Sure, if you didn't laugh, lads, you'd cry.
I'm laughing and crying at the minute.
Yeah, anyway, back to manifestation.
Before I was interrupted by Continental Jack-Russell.
Oh, God.
What was I saying?
Um,
Some show anyway about fucking yeah.
Jack-Russell.
I can't get out of my head. I just feel like he's like a French Jack-Russell or something.
yeah, that's exactly what popped into my head. Connor wearing a berry. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Manifest.
So there we go, manifestation.
Not thinking about things.
I think
Yeah,
Matthew's
I
dog
think-
just summed up manifestation.
Anything can happen, bro.
Yeah, Matthew, yeah.
Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, like I think to a degree you can. I think if you can tell yourself something so preposterous that seems so unreachable enough that you might be able to achieve it. Like it, I suppose it's kind of like propaganda, isn't it? Like the more you speak about it, the more people will actually believe it. It kind of feeds into that philosophy,
Yeah, I
I
suppose.
suppose, to a degree.
Is it
But-
kind of self-propaganda then? Is that it? Like?
Yeah, well, to a degree, I think yes. I think especially with kind of realistic goals that need work or whatever, definitely you can manifest something, whatever that may be.
Yeah, I don't think I could continue to say, Thomas, you're going to be a doctor in 10 years' time.
Yeah,
and
I think
you'll be in
manifest
medicine.
manifest kind of creates a very utopian kind of approach to it. I think it's going to happen like a Wizard of Oz click of the heels, and you're going to be in whatever scenario, or you're going to get whatever you're looking for in life, like that. But I think if you don't tell yourself that there's a problem there to begin with, that you're saying that one, you can't achieve something. I think everyone should have faith in themselves and have kind of a strong willpower to achieve whatever you're trying to achieve, no matter what life throws at you. Because like, yeah, you'll have your shit days, but you have to fucking persevere and take up the end goal, keep thinking of that end goal, and even if you don't reach it, you'll know that you did your best to try and get to that destiny that you were trying to manifest. But yeah, I wouldn't get too caught up in it. Like you like it can be thrown around as a kind of an idyllic thing. I think a little bit too much. But yeah, no, I do believe that it's kind of a human cognitive function to believe. I'm not going to say it's going to be predetermined that you'll achieve whatever you're looking to achieve, but there definitely should be a kind of a in the back of your head, like, right, I can do this sort of mentality.
Yeah, I like kind of what's kind of something that cropped up with me when I started thinking about this topic was like when I started working, I kind of told myself, I am not going to work for a boss all my life. I'm not going to have a boss all my life. I'm going to eventually be my own boss. And I want to get to that stage as soon as I fucking can. Like, I do enjoy the job I'm in at the minute. But I do want to work for myself eventually. And the kind of path I'm on now at the minute with this course, and I'm doing it, and the possibilities and the outcomes that I can get from it, I can see myself on that path to being able to work for myself in the next maybe 2 years, you know, even less than that, hopefully. But I think like I wished for that, like, and that was I thought about that constantly, especially in my first proper job. Like, I hated it. I fucking hated it with all my heart, like, and I think that's what drove it on. But since I've been out of that job, it hasn't crossed my mind as much. But it kind of became a realization when I started thinking about this. I wonder, is it linked that drive for to become my own boss is the course that I'm going into now, or that I'm doing. It gives me the possibility and the opportunities to become my own boss straight out without the experience.
I think it's you're trusting your internal bias, even if you don't, like you said, it hasn't crossed your mind in 2 years, but probably in the actions you've taken, you've still pursued you know what I mean? Like what you mentioned there would be probably like, yeah, manifest destiny, like in the terms that you picked, you know, you picked avenues that were gonna lead to where you want to lead.
Yeah, and I think it happened subconsciously. Yeah.
You didn't sit down and say, right, oh yeah, I will do this because I want to be here in 10 years' time. It was like, you know, your subconscious just picked that for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it drove me towards it.
Yeah, you might have been thinking about different fucking.
Well, yeah, like, I mean, when I was in school, like, the subjects I picked to do for the leaving, like, I picked them with the sole intention of doing veterinary medicine. Now, that was an utterly unachievable goal, like, like, it just wasn't going to happen on any level, like.
Yeah.
Like, I regret doing the subjects that I did, but at the same time, I did those subjects, but none of them, and even the ones that I would have done in instead of them, like, I would have taken a different path. I don't know, but if I still would have ended up on the same path as I am now, I don't think, I don't know. I wouldn't be using those. I wouldn't be using the same subjects even if I had ended up on the same path, you know.
I think for me, I'm kind of maybe slightly the opposite to you, where I don't really have a desired destiny as such. I've kind of like in a way I'm probably the least, like, Jack knows me for nearly 10 years now.
Yeah.
I'm not very spontaneous sort of a dude, like, am I really?
No, I wouldn't call it. No, not really spontaneous. I wouldn't call
No,
it.
Spontaneous would be
or-
the first word that springs to mind.
No, but like the last 4 or 5 years, I've just picked courses to do without much thought about what the end game is. You know what I mean? And maybe that's, I don't know. Maybe I do know. Maybe I do know my manifest destiny.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Or-
Like maybe you are driving yourself towards that. What we were talking about earlier
Mm.
with your curveball, like the your own subconscious destiny and serenity,
Cosmic
Yeah.
path.
your cosmic path. There you go.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of the same to a degree, like all the way up through like school and stuff. Like I just picked whatever I sort of liked rather than what I needed, or
Mm.
so to speak.
I think
Like-
that's the way to do it, though. I think I 100% like. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
like
You're
I
fucking
like
guided
surely.
by money or by fucking material gains that you don't really want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And I think
yeah.
as well, not like shouting on a lot of hate onto piling a lot of hate onto like people that do like arts degrees and so on, because I did one myself. But like doing like, let's say, business because everyone else is doing business, you can, like, okay, yeah, it might be a trend, it might have like the best job opportunities or whatever compared to others, but I think it's important to not go idle
But you know,
in your decision making. Like I wouldn't say my decisions were idly made. I made them on the basis that, right, I can't do tech graph for shit, so that's construction out of the way. No, but the funny thing is, I fucking loved doing tech graph, and
Yeah.
I loved doing woodwork and stuff, but I was just so shit at it, like which doesn't really add up. But I loved that, like, because you were able to kind of express yourself, and just like, you know, like you had some.
Look at you being all artsy.
that was the most arts degree thing I've ever heard about.
Yeah, well, no, like in fairness though, Tom, like honestly though, when were we allowed to like express our opinions in like two of probably the most like opinionated,
Very good.
like, yeah, very little. Like, and I know we had tutorials and stuff like that to have an opportunity to do so, but obviously we do know our past experiences of the many but the few who just shout all hours long. But I think as well, do we always have to spout our own opinions? Is it better to sit in the corner and observe and take it all in, man,
I
and
actually
learn from it?
the best piece of advice I ever got was off a fella I live with in Dublin. You know, he's about, he's in his, I don't want to say an age, but he's not old. But you know what I mean, he has kids, he has a house and a stake in the world. But you know, the best piece of advice he told me, he says, you know, the best day, when you start making decisions, you start making good decisions after you realize you're never going to be an astronaut.
Yeah, that's
That's
really
powerful.
good advice.
Yeah, that's powerful.
As PJ Gallagher says, give up on your dreams.
But don't, but these dreams, like, all of us want to be fucking millionaires, like, you know what I mean? But sometimes you have
Yeah.
to realize, I'm not going to be a good doctor, so I'll just stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, I think that's kind of getting back to what we were saying earlier with the subconscious manifestation. Like, if you really want it enough, don't focus your entire being on trying to get there. If you really want it enough, it will come to you. And
Right.
if not, then you know it's not what you really wanted.
You failed. You fucking failed. Okay?
Especially with young people, though, like
Your
you have,
subconscious doesn't kick in, you fail.
we as young people have to realize that, like, we are so fucking young. Like, we say, like, age is such an, like, well, it's not important, but like we get so caught up with age and time and so on. Like, we have so much time. Like, to say that, like, we're like, I'm only 21 anyway, but like, and I always, there's always that kind of thing in the back of my head saying, come on, you gotta fucking start acting here. Like, what are you doing nothing? Like,
There's no
but no, there is no need. Like I had so many dreams for this year that I couldn't achieve because of COVID, and that's fair enough. It's a pandemic. You can't do a lot of things under a pandemic. But like it didn't stop me from allowing myself to create an opportunity when COVID ends, and like building on this time of even just being isolated as well, like being on your own. You kind of get to work on yourself as well. Like I find I'm trying to read a lot more. I hadn't read it, funnily enough, all the way through college. I don't think I had read a book that wasn't related to my course or anything like that. And to actually like read something now, it feels good. And things like that, and like just even exercising and stuff like that, like having time to myself. Exactly. Just Keep Living, Matthew McConaughey, great book. Definitely should plug that. We need a sponsorship from Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew, if you're listening,
it's actually called green lights as well. Actually,
just get you.
Sorry,
get it right. Like, how are we ever going to get a sponsorship if you keep getting it wrong? Yeah, but yeah, Matthew, you owe us a lot of money. We've mentioned.
Well, no, I don't owe you any money.
No,
you're not.
Oh God! No, I just realized you thought I was talking to you.
No, I knew you were talking about Matthew McConaughey. I'm stupid, but I'm not that stupid, Jack. Come on.
Oh
God! Yeah, I enjoyed that one. There was a lot of.
Do you know, I can't wait till we have a live podcast.
I'm fucking living for it. We can manifest that anyway. That's for sure.
I ring Tony Holland there tomorrow and ask him, does that come under tier 3, like, or 2, or whatever, wherever we are? I don't know.
Absolutely.
Wherever.
I imagine live streaming a podcast as well. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
that would be pretty cool. Possibly
in the future.
Yeah, sometime in the future.
You know, it's going to be a good week, because you know what tomorrow night is, don't you?
Oh,
Matthew does too. Look at him. Your childhood is dead. Childhood is dead.
Never had a child on it. So red.
Matthew, tomorrow is the most wonderful day of the year because the Late Late Toy Show is on.
Pat Kenny ruined it for me just saying. Actually, no. I take that back.
So your entire childhood up until about 8 years ago.
No, not my childhood.
Was a presenter from
it. No. You're reading me wrong. I like that. Those last years of Pat Kenny in the Late Late Toy Show, when he knew that his time was up, were painful, and those early years of Ryan Tuberty in the Late Late Show were painful, and I think, to be honest, they still are quite painful. No matter how much you can glorify them, you can glorify them all you want. To be honest, I don't really care. Toy shows weren't really for me.
I can just see you, age 10, in your sitting room. Everyone's standing around. You're just going, yeah, just fucking Pat Kenny, lad. He's fucking shit. Like, he's just ruined this.
Nah, like I don't know, like Jesus.
It is shite, but it's an institution at this stage.
Yeah, it's a great for the kids and stuff like
that.
Like,
I love that farmer kid that they always get. You know what I mean? They always pick the cultiest 10-year-old they can find.
Yeah, it's
what's this tractor? What's this tractor? That's a sorry pit there, Ryan. That is there now. My daddy built a new one of them there last Friday night. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and seeing like Robbie Keane come on as like the 20th special guest in a row.
And here's your hero, Dustin.
Going out to abuse everybody.
Yeah. Smoking 40 Benson a day. God love
you just know though it's going to try to be so emotional tomorrow, don't you?
Oh, you already know it.
Yeah. It's just going to be like, oh, Johnny is playing with the Hot Wheels cars on Skype now. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, fucking leave it out, will you?
I didn't think
about like it's going to be tough, yeah.
How many grandparents are going to be the special guests tomorrow?
Oh, God. Yeah. You just know it. Or lads in Australia or something like that now.
Yeah. Oh, God. Jeez.
I'm looking forward to it, though.
Can't wait.
Jesus.
Can't wait. No, honestly, I honestly can't wait. Like, I'm fucking
tell
20. I'm 22 and I can't wait to look at a fucking a program entirely about toys that I won't play with any of them.
Toys are shite now as well, though, aren't they? They're
They
so
are,
weird.
they're
Toys have gone downhill big time.
Very odd toys.
They're on a downward spiral.
See, like fucking 10-year-olds playing with flamingos now, like you just
Like, whatever happened to fucking good old fashioned Skelectrics? Like, do you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
those were the
Oh.
days. Or like a Hornby train set or something, like, do you know, something simple like that.
all right, James, maybe.
I'm getting a lot of heat today. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah, but Continental Jack-Russell, you're fucking
How have you not tried to make money off of this?
Right, this is what I'm going to manifest. I'm going to become a comedian. You've heard it here first.
Here, doggy, would you like
good
your food?
Lord.
I do not to talk about the food this morning. Let me out for the sheep now.
What's your dog's name? If you say Pierre or something like that, I swear to God.
No, it's not. It's not quite French. It's Murphy.
Oh, it's not very continental.
Yeah, no, it's not very normal either. I don't really know.
My
who
dog's
came
name
up
is
with that
Paddy.
name,
So.
but- good old Irish name.
Mine is Jeff. Oh, not my name. My name is not Jeff.
My name's Jeff.
My dog's name is Jeff.
Iconic.
Yeah.
But I throw
Oh,
another curveball. Do we have time for another curveball?
Yeah, I suppose we have time for a quick one.
I suppose I kind of
You have 10 minutes
ties
for
everything in together.
rooting for a cup of hay now, so.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I suppose it kind of ties into a good bit. That's what we're talking about. But I was just thinking like the whole social media thing and just life in general, like of like who you kind of like follow and like idolize, I suppose. And I suppose what I'm going to say is, do you think we should idolize people? Like, should we invest so much time of our like lives into other people's
Lives.
affairs? Yeah, exactly.
Excellent question for a dedicated historian here.
I just want to say as well, like it kind of stems from like
I just realized how ironic this topic is for you, Matthew.
yeah.
It's been and asking it to like you, a historian.
Yeah.
Has
Well, no,
invested
yeah.
your life into the lives of other people. And you're
Well, no,
asking Tom, who is also in the same thing.
No, like we've
I
invested
know,
a
I
lot
know,
of
I
time,
know, I know
but
what you mean.
I do understand where you're coming from.
Oh, that's right.
But you know, it stems from like I was reading an article there the other day, and it said that you shouldn't idolize the likes of Kurt Cobain and other musicians that had so much personal trauma and that kind of promoted, whether directly or indirectly, drug use and suicide and so on.
Go over to Argentina right now and they'll tell you where to stick that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like I just thought it kind of hit a nail on me, like why do we idolize people and should we idolize people if this is the case? Now I don't agree with this article saying that we shouldn't idolize the likes of Kurt Cobain and stuff, because I think what they did, just even from music alone, was fucking like it literally changed music. Now, whether for the better or not, I don't know, but I think it was
It's for the better. It's definitely for the better.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Let's not get carried away here now.
I know we all have our personal bias in music, but I don't know. I tend to kind of take I won't throw hate on them until I actually like listen to them and understand kind of what they were going through when writing all this music, and two, like what the kind of messages behind it. But yeah, no, not even just musicians. I'm just saying in general, like, should we idolize just people in general? But getting bogged down here. But go for it.
See, that's a tough one because
I think all my curveballs are just very philosophical. I do apologize, but
I try to think of from my own experience. Like, I don't know if I idolize anyone. Like, I mean, I admire people, but like to idolize somebody is to like it's almost a devotion nearly.
Who would like the person that who would be someone closest? I don't know how to actually phrase this. What's the closest you are to idolizing someone? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, who would you idolize the most at the minute,
Yeah,
or like in your life? Like, fuck, that's even tougher than my own curveball.
God, I don't know. I suppose. I actually don't know. I can't. Fuck.
Who's your hero then?
My hero. That's another tough one. Jesus. Have you? Do you have answers for that? Because I'll need a minute.
I think it's hard to kind of pick one. Like, there's so many. Like, and I think it kind of develops as you get older. Like, stereotypically, and even still, like I do idolize or like see my dad as a hero. Like that's just like growing up. Like,
keep that sentimental shit out of this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And like it's usually like a go-to, and I know like
we were expecting like Liam Gallagher or something there.
I'm starting at like a early age.
It's only
you're fucking winding me up as per. But no, like I don't know. I think you can't. I don't think you can like idolize or like see a hero in one person. I think because there's so many elements to life, and like you'd idolize or like place a level of heroism in certain people in certain aspects of life. Like I don't know. I can't actually just say one because there are so many people that I kind of look at and go, like
that's the question.
I know. You know, I can't say one anyway. If that's what you're asking. But
I think I have an answer for your original curveball. Should we idolize people? I think. I don't think we should idolize people. I think what we should do is admire people and maybe take some of the tenets or the traits that you most admire from those people and try to apply them to your life. I think we need to be a bit more reflective of ourselves. And if you do admire somebody, try and not copy, but try and integrate the things that you admire about them into your being and your personality. I know that'll probably come with it anyway, because if you do admire them, you'll admire them for a reason, and you probably will start to do that. But I think that's the way we should maybe go, as opposed to total devotion to somebody that you don't know and probably never will know.
I think for me, like admiration and idolization, the people who have influence on my life, I think I find comfort sometimes in the stuff that they're saying and the stuff that they did, or their art or their literature. Like, I think I don't see any idolization to a point where you're fucking every moment is thinking about them as a bit fucking.
Yeah, that's obsession.
Extreme. Yeah, but like, I don't think there's anything wrong with like being a devoted fan of someone because you might find comfort in there. Yeah, I think I'm with you, Jack. Admiration and to like people who will ultimately make an impression on you because
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that I think to a similar degree anyway, that you should take the kind of the best qualities, or like take the certain aspects from people and, like, as you say, integrate it into your kind of your central processing unit, and try and using PC talk but to build a PC over Christmas. But yeah, no. But
can I use a Matthew McConaugheyism again?
yeah,
There,
go for it.
he said that
Go for it.
your hero should be you in 10 years' time.
Whoa.
You'll never be your hero, but you'll always be chasing him.
Forget what I said. Matthew McConaughey is now my idol.
Yeah, I know.
And we were only talking about obsessions.
I think this is the third week in a row you've mentioned Matthew McConaughey. No,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? It's not even that. It's longer.
It's way longer.
It's way longer than that.
I've read this book, like, you know what I mean?
We are the title of episode 8 actually was Priest Tori and Matthew McConaughey. I'm pretty sure you mentioned it before. That's
And you know, when I think about it, I haven't actually seen that many films he's been in. I don't know.
yeah.
I think he's neat.
He's a neat guy. Oh, wonderful. Wunderbar. Yeah. I think I might leave it at that, fellas. That's
so good.
that's an hour. Jeez, an hour and 20. Dear
And
God.
we got a good lot into that now, in fairness.
Yeah, and you know what? It was actually a really enjoyable podcast because we didn't speak about anything that's currently going on in the news apart from the just carrying on from last week with the whole. And even at that, it was very philosophical, I suppose. To say it was a very philosophical podcast.
Very far out there, man.
Thanks, Tom. So yeah, thanks for listening. Be sure to like and follow all our socials and give this another share if you do listen to it. It's nice to get the word out there and spread us around a little bit.
We're not clout merchants, though. We're just we're just trying to spread our valid opinions. Okay.
Yeah. We're trying to manifest our own destinies here.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. We're tying everything together now. The cosmic path is assembling before our very eyes. Watch the space. Pardon the pun.
On that note, anyway.
On that bombshell.
Yeah, thanks a million. Oh yeah, and also thanks a million for everyone's donations to Movember. It is a fantastic cause, and I'm sure it won't be the last fundraiser or charity we try to help for. You know.
Yeah, I'd love to do it again. I'd love to keep it up. I know it was enjoyable to attempt growing some facial hair in honor of mental health and suicide prevention. Anyway,
I think they should change it to another month, just like January, a member, like, you know what I mean, something. August.
I don't think it's the ember part that they're focusing on. I think it's the more part. All right. Good luck. See you next week.
Au revoir.
Adios.